Hello everyone, hope you're doing well today. I have my Rotring Isograph .35 technical pen, and I'm going to be doing a drawing in my moleskin sketchbook today with this pen. And this is the one that I had the nib replaced on it recently. I actually got the new nib in yesterday, and we're going to be doing a drawing with this pen here. And I would say that this is probably my favorite nib size to draw with out of all the pens. And the Rotring Isograph is one of my favorite pens to draw with. Another recent pen that I have gotten that I will be doing a review on is the TWSBI Eco T, which is a fountain pen. It does have a slight tripod grip at the end of the pen, which I really enjoy. I find it comfortable to draw with, and this pen here does have a little bit of a grip on there, as you can see the slight cutouts that is in the pen there, and that does make it a little bit more comfortable to draw with than if it was just a completely smooth surface. I think if it was a completely smooth surface, that this pen would be harder to draw with because your fingers would be slipping and it wouldn't be all that great with drawing, especially if you're living in a warmer climate like Arizona or somewhere humid like Florida, or maybe parts of Texas. It gets humid there, doesn't it? But mostly humid in Florida, whereas Arizona is a very dry heat. But I'm making tea right now. It's raspberry flavored, and I ran out of green tea bags, so the only other tea that I had right now was chamomile tea. But I only drink that later in the evening or before bed because it makes me very calm, helps relax me, and so I get sleepy. So if I drink that right now, I'm going to be pretty sleepy all day, and it's going to make the drawing more difficult. I won't be able to focus very well. So the moleskin sketchbooks that I have 3 of them. The one that I'm working on now is my second one, and I've got a third one that I want to fill up after this. But what are some sketchbooks that you think I should draw in? The moleskins work pretty good for me because it has a very smooth surface, and that smooth surface is really good for drawing with these pens here. I've tried other sketchbooks, such as drawing in a pentalic sketchbook, but I think it's just a little bit too rough of a surface for drawing with the Rotring Isograph technical pen. I do have another technical pen that should be showing up soon, which I've talked about, and it's kind of similar to this, but a bit different, but you'll see. So I'm going to go ahead and drink some of my tea and get some of that, and then we can start on our doodle. I did open my windows because it was getting a bit warm in here. Yesterday it got down to the low 40s, and then today it feels like it's in the mid 70s. Ohio's weather cannot make up its mind. It can go from being 92, and then overnight cool down, and then the next day be in the 40s. So, yeah, you never know what to expect. You might as well bring sandals with thick socks, shorts, with a jacket, a really short sleeve shirt, and then get yourself a hat with sunglasses, an umbrella, and that should do, because you don't know what the weather's going to be here when you live in Ohio. It's completely random, and you never know what you're going to get with it. But yeah, so I'm going to go get myself some tea, but while that tea is steeping, I think that's what they call it. The tea is steeping. It's not very steep, it's only that far. But the tea is steeping, and I'm going to drink that, and we're going to start on our doodle. But I think that's all I have to say right now. If I have anything else to say, I will say it in the video. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started on this doodle with our Rotring Isograph .35, and let's see what we can make. Let's doodle. You ever set your alarm to go off on a day that you don't work? The alarm goes off, and then you think, why am I getting up this early? You lay back down. You get ready to go back to sleep. But then you realize something's off. Something isn't right. You look back at the clock and you look at the time. You feel like you have to be somewhere, but you don't know where it's supposed to be. Something's different about today. So you almost doze off. You almost fall back asleep. And then you realize, hey, I've got to be somewhere. That happened to me this morning. I set my alarm for my dental appointment. I had to get a couple of fillings done, and I had the alarm set for 8 a.m. I had to be there at 8:45 a.m. and I laid there for about 15 minutes before I realized that I set my alarm so I can go to the dentist. But the dentist visit was not painful. It was not that bad, although my mouth was mostly numbed up and my teeth and gums felt really strange for a couple of hours after that. And because of that, I waited several hours before I ate anything because I didn't want to accidentally bite my own tongue. So I just made myself some tea. I drank that. And then later on, I had made myself some food. And then I started this here doodle, which looks like there's some kind of, maybe part of a Roman Colosseum going on there in the center. And then there's like maybe in the left side, what looks like part of a tree. And then rocks. I kind of just go with it. I don't really think too much about what I'm making when I'm drawing things. I just put things in the paper, and whatever happens is what happens. And I just make things, really. But I really enjoy the feeling I get for maybe 30 minutes after I complete a drawing. It's a feeling of accomplishment that, yes, I've got this drawing done, and I feel really good for 30 minutes. Then that feeling disappears, it goes away, and I feel the urge that I have to do another drawing, and so I do another drawing. I get that drawing complete, and then the same thing happens again. Does that happen to you? It can be an obsessive thing to where I just keep completing drawings and I start another one and the feeling goes away in 30 minutes. But this drawing only took me, I would say, 2 to 3 hours to complete. Most of the drawings in the Moleskine sketchbook with my 0.35, they take, I would say, between 2 and 3 hours on average. If I'm using my 0.25, they'll take, 4 hours or 5 hours, but if it's the 0.18, they're going to take just all day. But I'm doing good. I made myself some spaghetti again. I think I need to change things up. I've been eating spaghetti maybe 3 or 4 days of the week for the past 2 or 3 weeks. And I should make some type of different meal. I think I might make something with chicken. I think that sounds good. With some onions and maybe some mushrooms and some seasonings and add that to it. Or maybe I'll make that tomorrow. I do have a bunch of drawing tutorials that I'll be working on, which I've talked about in videos before, and they're going to be tutorials about how to doodle, but I have to try to put into words what I'm creating, really. I don't really know exactly how to put into words the things that I make, because they sort of just come to me. I don't know. It's just, I get into the artistic flow and I just start making stuff. And things and lines and dots end up on the paper that I didn't really realize I made. And then I start on another drawing and the same thing happens again, and I don't really remember doing some of the drawings until I finish the drawing and I go to edit the video, and then I'm like, huh, I don't remember drawing that. I think that I draw more so out of just inspiration or some type of motivation where I'm just being creative rather than a very technical way. Although I find it technical, well, I am drawing with a technical pen, so I guess it would have to be technical in some way. But I like being more creative and expressive in my drawings and trying to be too technical, because then I feel like I'm losing my creativity. Sort of like if I do a bunch of portrait drawings all the time, then I switch back to trying to draw abstract, I feel like I lose a little bit of creativity. My drawing skill improves, but I feel just a little bit less creative. So doodling like this with this pen helps me really get that creativity out. But hope you enjoyed watching this drawing. Let me know if you have any questions about anything and anything you want me to draw. I'll see you later.